Welcome to Jeevashastram. In my previous video, I talked about what is life from a biological perspective. Today, I am going to talk about what is biology and what are the levels of biological organization. Before discussing about what is biology, I am going to tell you a short story. In 1995, a group of Minnesota Middle School, it is in USA, so the students of the school was on a field trip. They were hiking through some local wetlands and they discovered a horde of young frogs, most of them with deformed or missing or extra legs. So the students find made an national news and focused public attention on amphibian population declines. At that time, it was an issue already studied by many scientists. They thought it may be water pollution, which is an obvious reason because these animals breed and spend their early lives in ponds and streams. Or it may be acidic rain resulting from air pollution, or it can be ultraviolet radiation, which is causing mutant form, or it may be global warming adversely affecting them, or it may be some disease attacking them. So the evidence exists to support each of the possibilities, and there is no single answer. At this point, a Stanford University undergraduate came up with an answer, and the scientists got a whole new perspective on the question. The frog come from a pond is an agricultural region near abundant mercury mines. Thus, there were two possibilities. Either the cause of deformities were agricultural chemicals or heavy metals from the old mines. So, this undergraduate student of Stanford designed an experiment to test his idea. What he did, he compared ponds where there were deformed frogs with ponds where the frogs were normal and tested for the presence or absence of pollutants. But as frequently what happens in science, his proposed explanation was disapproved by his experiment. But what happened? His field work led to a new hypothesis. What was the hypothesis? The hypothesis was that the deformities are caused by a parasite. So he again designed an experiment to test is this true or not, and he found that a certain type of parasite is present in some ponds. These parasites get into newly hatched tadpoles and disrupt the development of the adult frog hind leg or back leg. So his research did not explain the global decline in amphibians population, but it did find out one type of problem amphibians encounter. So from this incident, what we can say? We can easily say that science usually progress in such small, very small, but solid steps. And what biologists do? They use scientific method to investigate the process of life at all levels, from molecular level to ecosystem level. Means as small as molecular level to as big as ecosystem level. I'm going to discuss about all these level in my video later. So now, what is biology? In simple way, we can say that biology is the scientific study of living things, or we can say that biology is a quest. It is an inquiry about the nature of life, and biologists define living things as all the diverse organisms descended from a single celled ancestor that appeared almost 4 billion years ago. And because of their common ancestry, every living organism share many characteristics. And which are those characteristics? Most living organisms consist of one or more cells, contain genetic information. They use this genetic information to reproduce themselves. They are genetically related and they have evolved. They can convert molecules obtained from their environment into biological molecules. Means they can take anything from environment and use it as its own purpose. They can extract energy from the environment and use it to do biological work. And they can also regulate their internal environment. These are the common characteristics in living organisms. So what about the viruses? Are they living or non-living? They act as a living thing only when they are inside a host, except that they act like a non-living thing. They contain a genetic material, but they cannot make copy of it without a host body because they don't have the machinery to do it. It is only survival way for them to infect a host, hijack the machinery of the host cell to reproduce its own copy of genetic material and then infect another host. That is how they survive after generation up to generation. Now I'm going to discuss about the levels of biological organization. There are 10 levels: the biosphere, the ecosystem, communities, populations, organisms, organs, tissues, cells, organelles, molecules. I'm going to discuss about each of them. So, what is biosphere? It is the highest level. What is biosphere? It consists of all life, everything that is alive on earth, and all the places where life exists in earth. Most of the region of land, most of the bodies of water, the atmosphere to an altitude level of several kilometers, and even sediments far below the ocean floor have life forms. The next level is ecosystem. You can see the picture of Nilgiri Hills of India, southern India, with Nilkurinji flower. Nilgiri mountain, named after this flower, the flower blooms after every 12 years. So Nilgiri is an example of ecosystem. So what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem consists of all the living things in a particular area, along with all the non living components like soil, water, atmospheric gases, and light. The next level or the third level is community. So, what is a biological community? When different types of organism, it may be Nilkurinji flower or it may be a deer, anything. So when different types of organisms live or inhabit in a particular ecosystem, then it is called a biological community. For example, the community in our Nilgiri ecosystem includes many kinds of plants, different types of animals, mushroom, fungi, and large number of different microorganisms like bacteria. So here is the difference between ecosystem and community. The difference is that community does not include non-living things, means it does not consider abiotic component. It only have biotic components in it. The fourth level is population. Population means all the living individuals of a species living in a particular area. It may be a plant species like Nilkurinji, or it may be an animal species like a deer or elephant, or it may be a species of microorganism. Suppose there are 1,000 deer in the Nilgiri community. So the population strength of this species is 1,000, and there is 10,000 of Nilkurinji plant. So the population strength is 10,000 for Nilkurinji flower. So that is why a community is a set of populations that inhabit in a particular area. Our fifth level is organism. Individual living things are called organisms. Like each plant in the Nilgiri is an organism, and so is each animal, fungus, and bacterium. Here in Nilgiri, Nilkurinji is an organism. You can see the Nilkurinji flower. The sixth level is organs. What is organ? Organ is a body part that is made up of multiple tissues and has specific function in the body, like liver, kidney, pancreas in case of an animal, and leaf, root, stem in case of plant. So, a Nilkurinji leaf is an example of organ. The seventh level is tissue. Tissues are made up of cells. Each tissue is a group of cells that work together and perform a specialized function. The leaf shown here has cut on an angle. You can see the microscopic view of the leaf. The seventh level is tissue. Tissue are made up of cells. Each tissue is a group of cells that work together and perform a specialized function. The leaf shown here has been cut on an angle. You can see the microscopic view of the leaf. The exterior part of the diagram is the exterior part of the leaf. It is looking like a honeycomb. You can see it here. It is looking like a honeycomb. This is the main location of photosynthesis. You can see some holes. Here, here. You can see many holes. It is the exterior surface of the leaf. It is called epidermis. The pores you are looking here, it is the pores on epidermis. The pores through the epidermis allow entry of the carbon dioxide. So different part of a leaf has a different function. And why is that? Because different parts are made up of different tissue and each tissue has a particular function. The next level is cells. The cell is a fundamental unit. It is life's fundamental unit of structure and function. Some organisms are made up of single cell like amoeba. The single cell performs all the functions of life. On the other hand, some organisms are multicellular and each type of cells have a specific function. Next, the ninth level. Within the cell, there are smaller structures. They are called organelles. Here you can see the structure of a chloroplast, which is an organelle found in every photosynthetic cells. Now the last and 10th level is molecules. A molecule is a chemical structure. They are made up of two or more units, which are called atoms. It is a chlorophyll molecule. Chlorophyll is a pigment that makes a leaf green. It also absorbs sunlight at the time of photosynthesis. Within each chloroplast, millions of chlorophyll molecules are present. Their work is to convert light energy to the chemical energy. So these are the 10th level of biological organization. Here you can see the levels, the biosphere at the highest level and the molecules at the lowest level. So today we discussed about what is biology and what are the levels of biological organization. In my next video, I will talk about the discovery of cells.